Hi folks, it's Professor Koenig here, and we are continuing on with our Introduction to Communication Theory. And this week we're continuing with the media portion of the textbook, and we are on chapter 23, which is Uses and Gratification Theory. And Uses and Gratifications Theory is one of those theories that is widely used in media effects. It's been around for a while, and it's pretty applicable to a lot of different situations and a lot of different ways that we think about the media and how the media impacts us. And so if you are working on a paper that is talking about the media and media effects for this class, uses and gratification is one of those theories that kind of fits with a lot of different angles. When I was in grad school, the chair of my thesis said to me, just use uses and gratification theory. That works with everything. And now I'm not going to say that I agree with him 100%. I don't think it works with everything, but it fits a lot of different approaches to thinking about the media. So uses and gratification theory is based on some of the research from Katz and Bloomer and Gratification. And basically what it says, or what it posits, is that the audience is active and its media use is goal-oriented. So long way back, when we started talking about theories in general, specifically media theories, the limited effects theory and it was one of those theories. So let me backtrack. So when we first started thinking about media and how the media influences us, theorists said, okay, media is like, it's like a bullet, right? And or like a syringe. Like you just shoot it into people and they're like zombies. They're like, oh, whatever you say we will do, and we will like, and we will, you know. And that was that idea came out of fear. Like there was all this new media, and new media back then was, you know, like radio. Like, wow, the radio is going to ruin us all. Every new media that comes out is going to ruin us all, right? So radio is going to ruin us all. Newspapers are going to ruin us all. And so like the hypodermic needle effect said, like, we just ingest it and we do whatever the media tells us to do. But limited effects says, well, no. So really, the media has a limited effect on us, and we have to be susceptible to it. And uses and gratification they built upon that idea and said, not only is like, are there limited effects, and we have to be, you know, open to being influenced by the media, but we also, as users, are active. It's not like we don't just sit back and like let everything wash over us. We seek out certain medias because we want them to fulfill a goal. We have goals when we interact with the media. And so that's the first assumption. Secondly, the initiative in linking need gratification to a specific medium choice rests with the audience member. So an example, when I log onto Facebook, most of the time, I'm just trying to see what people are up to, and it's like a social thing. I want to connect with my friends and see what they're up to. But there are times, and more often, I would say, than in recent times, where I log on to Facebook to see what people are sharing, because I want to know what people are talking about. I want to see from a current events perspective, from a news perspective, a political perspective. I want to see what people are sharing, because I feel like for me now, Facebook has become a place where I go to see what the news is. And then I extend that and I go to the news sources. But I first want to see, okay, a lot of people are sharing this, so this must be important. Think about agenda setting, right? The media compete with other sources for need satisfaction. So if I'm saying I'm going to Facebook to get my news lately, and then that's where, you know, that's the jumping off point to other news sources, well, then I'm not going to CNN first, or I'm not going to Fox News first. Facebook is now becoming like this gatekeeper of news for me, and it's a competition for other news sources. And it's also a place where I see my friends, right, and see what they're up to. And that's a different goal. So I have two goals when I go to Facebook. Are they competing goals, or are they goals that overlap? Are they goals that, like, some days I really am just looking to see what people are sharing. Some days I really just want to see what my friends and family are up to in the pictures that they're posting of their kids and stuff like that. People have enough self-awareness of their media use, interests, and motives to be able to provide researchers with an accurate picture. So not only am I going to Facebook to find my news nowadays, but I'm telling you this. I know, I'm conscious. I'm aware of it. If I filled out a questionnaire and said, why do you go to Facebook? I would say, because I want to see what people are sharing, because I want to see what the news is. Like, I know that. You do too, right? And if you don't go to Facebook for your news, that's fine. We're different people. But you could say, oh, I go to see what my friends are posting about their weekend. Or I go to see pictures of my cousin's kids. And my friends' kids and things like that. And that's my purpose. So we are not only active, but we are self-aware. We're understanding of why we do these things. Lastly, value judgments of media content can only be assessed by the audience. So not only do I go to Facebook to get my news, but I am also very aware that a lot of that is crap. I know it. I can go and say, whatever you're all posting is wrong right now. I'm aware of that. And I am assessing it. I am the audience member saying that this is right or wrong, or this is true or fake or whatever. This is fake news or not fake news. So that's like, those are the basic assumptions. There's stages. So the first stage of uses and gratification, research, consisted of acknowledging that people can and do actively participate in mass communication process. So the first stage of doing research on media effects and on mass communication with uses and gratification as your theoretical model. So remember, if we're doing research, we have a theory behind that research, or we're creating our own theory. And I don't think any of us, me included, are at the stage of our lives where we're like, I just came up with a theory. If you do, that is amazing, and you should write it down. But that's really hard, and that takes a lot of work and a lot of research. So if you are studying something, so how do people use Facebook? That could be my research question. How do people use Facebook? And my theory is uses and gratification. That's my theoretical framework. So the first stage of doing that research would say that I'm acknowledging that people can and do actively participate in the process. So not only am I saying, okay, I'm going to study people who use Facebook and see what they use it for, but I'm also saying that they know that they're doing this. They know why they're doing this. They know how they're doing this, etc., etc. The second stage of uses and gratification research began when researchers created typologies representing all the reasons people had for media use. And it was found that motivations for television use, for example, clustered into the following categories: to pass time, for companionship, excitement, escape, enjoyment, social interactions, relaxation, information, etc., etc. I'm talking about Facebook, right? That's my example I'm using. Can we see it fitting into all of this? Absolutely. Passing time. Well, I just goof off on Facebook all the time. Social interaction. I just said that. I go to see my friends. I go to see my family. Companionship. Do I go so I feel like I'm connected to people and that I have friends? Absolutely. That's why we use Facebook. Excitement. Ooh, what's going on? It's so exciting, right? How about relaxation? Sometimes I go and I just want to see people's memes. I want to see, I don't know, just these like nice, you know, share this if you're happy kind of posts, those types of things. So all of this fits. Where's my other stage? I want to find the third stage. Oh, I skipped a page. That's why I'm lost. Okay, the next stage says that uses and gratification researchers have been interested in linking specific reasons for media use with variables such as needs, goals, benefits, the consequences of media use, and individual factors. So what are we saying there? Researchers are working to make this theory more explanatory and predictive. So we can use this theory, uses and gratification, to link interests to the media use, right? And why we're using the media. So what do I need? When I go to Facebook, do I need stuff? Yeah, absolutely. I need to find out the news, or I need to see what my friends are up to. I have specific goals, and there are consequences too. So sometimes I log on because I just want to see what my cousin's posting about her family and the pictures of her little kids. And as I'm scrolling through, I see, oh geez, what happened now in the news? What happened in the government? What happened with the refugees? And my goal then is not gratified. My goal is changed, right? I don't reach my goal because I didn't want to read that stuff. I just wanted to see baby pictures. And now I have to see baby pictures of Syrian refugees. All of a sudden, things have changed for me in my media usage. So think about that. Uses and gratification seems so simple, but how many times do we log on to our social medias and we get thwarted, right? How many times do I start to do homework and I start Googling and all of a sudden I'm down a rabbit hole and I'm reading about, I don't know, whatever crazy things we find ourselves reading about. And so that's a big part of this theory. We are active audience members. That's another big part. So what's an active audience member? A variable concept focused on an audience engaging with the media on a voluntary basis. Nobody puts a gun to my head and says, please waste an hour of your day looking on Facebook. Please, when you wake up at 3 in the morning, start scrolling through Twitter. Nobody tells me to do that. I do it all on my own. I'm an active audience member. There's a utility to it. I have a goal that I'm trying to accomplish. I have tasks that I want to get done when I go onto Twitter. Sometimes it's mindless, but most of the time it's not. Most of the time I know what I'm looking for. That's why I search hashtags, because I want to see what are people talking about the specific topic. There's a lot of extensions of uses and gratification to social media. It's a key theory going on right now because it fits so well, because we are so active as an audience member right now. Even though you might feel very passive, no one tells you to log on. You do it all on your own, and there's a reason that you do it, and that ties to this theory. So I hope that was helpful. A very simple theory becomes very, very complex. But as my thesis chair way back when I was a student, I won't even say your age because I was still old, he was right. It fits really, really well in trying to understand us users as active participants in the media. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions.